Hello, welcome to Press and Play. This is Heather. Today I am doing a Glam Pride set. This is my take on Pride. You'll have to let me know if it makes sense at the end, if it feels like it actually looks like a Pride set. I'm not really sure. Other people have said yes, so I'm rolling with that, but I'd love your opinion on it. So I'm showing you my coffee because I, at this point, had 2 cups of coffee and no breakfast, and I was shaking badly. So please excuse all the crazy shaking. Don't do that if you're a shaky person. Don't drink 2 cups of coffee and then film. That's my PSA for the day. Anyway, I'm starting off with the thumb. And I'm adding the MAKARTT Blanc, just 1 coat to the nail to go underneath the CATEYE that I'm using. And I'm using the CATEYE, the Chameleon set from Born Pretty, which has the double color in the magnet. And I do notice that as I'm using it, you definitely need 2 coats because otherwise it's kind of blotchy, especially if you have a color underneath it you can really see. But yeah, this thumb, not only was I shaking, but obviously my brain was not completely on. I pretty much woke up, pounded coffee, and then got right to filming. I had done the other hand the night before, and this magnet placement was supposed to be on the other side so that it would be the opposite from the other thumb. And I don't realize this until I completely finish. So I pull out all my these are like kind of like hard plastic bits with like a iridescent, like multi-color situation going on. And I'm using this to represent the flag on the thumbnail. But I don't show you me redoing the nail because I actually ended up redoing it twice because I went and started over, finished it, and then realized, yeah, this is where I realized that I'm like, oh my god. I did it twice. I did 2 whole nails wrong. So I just went through the steps already with you, but going the other way. So I figured that's good enough. I used the MAKARTT rhinestone glue. The first time I did this, I did base coat, and I don't know why I thought that would be a good idea, but they were slip sliding everywhere. It was really hard to get them to stay in place. And then I remembered, oh my gosh, I have rhinestone glue, and I have a good rhinestone glue. So I really, yeah, my brain was not functioning. Let's just say that. I did actually, after the second time I messed up the thumb, step away. I put the nails down and ate something, and so yeah. Here I'm just kind of placing it into like a half circle to go with that magnetic placement. Kind of looks like an Art Deco nail to me. There's a lot of Art Deco vibe in here, and I think part of that is the color from the Chameleon set. And by the way, that color was 01 in the set. But yeah, here I'm working on the, oh, see there, I'm showing you how it's supposed to be. Here I am working on the middle nail, and like looking back at it, I'm super judgy of my own work. I should have done it at a better angle, closer to like how I did the other one, but at this point I think I was just mainly concentrating on putting the stripes in the right direction because this is a long process. So what I have is I think it was 653, I believe, for this color, for the rainbow. But it's a more complicated rainbow because you can't cure in between. I mean, you could, but I wanted to get that magnet like consistent through the whole thing. And I'm sure you could cure it and, you know, do it individually, but I decided to go the harder way. And so I'm picking up the color, painting a stripe, and then wiping in between each, wiping off my brush in between each stripe. So it's a little bit, at least this initial first coat is more complicated because you're setting up your stripes. I wouldn't say, maybe not complicated, but more tedious. And you really can't mess up, which, you know, I knew that. Tell that to a girl who's already like completely jacked up on coffee. That's definitely like a no pressure situation there. But yeah, so I'm just laying down the initial stripes here. And I'm a little late on this video. I actually had filmed this last week, but I had internet issues, and I will not rant, but I can't recommend highly enough to stay away from any quantum online services because, oh my God, what a nightmare. What an absolute nightmare. So, and here I start off just kind of straight up and down, and I realize I had it at an angle on the other one. So I needed to go to the opposite side to create that kind of angle. So here I am laying down a thick stripe on top, and I'm not worrying about them touching. In fact, I kind of want the space in between now that there's the color laid down underneath it, but I want like some texture from it. And actually this gel, this Born Pretty gel, did hold up. Even as I was doing this, it wasn't dropping or floating out or spreading, so it did hold quite well through this. And this I didn't actually have to wipe off in between because I already knew where everything was going, so I could just do all of one color and then go in between with the other colors. So this went a lot faster. But yeah, long story short, with my internet, I have a new company because I'm pretty sure Quantum has 3 people working there, and I don't know how they are in business, honestly. Like, I've spent a good 10-15 hours on hold or on a call with somebody who couldn't do anything for me, missed appointments on their end, sitting there waiting all day, because you know how you get a window? And then they don't show up, and then they give you another window and they don't show up, and then they want you to like wait till next week for internet. So I'm like, yeah, no, absolutely not. So I have internet now, yay. So this is, I believe, the pinky. Yes, it is. It's the pinky. I put the MAKARTT Blanc down as my base, and I love this color. This color is so pretty. It absolutely reminds me of mermaids. But here's my attempt at sort of a French, because I really didn't know how to do it. I've since watched, I think her name is Anne Elizabeth. She's lovely, and she was having trouble doing a French, and she like stopped, watched videos, and came back to it. I at this point was not going to do that. I was like, nope, we're just gonna have a line French. But the way she has it, I'm gonna try again. But basically she's using the rectangle one for the entire French nail. So I am going to try that again and play with it. And here I'm just picking out my little rainbow pieces. So by the way, this set is for my daughter. She's in LA now, and I'm very sad. So I'm in Seattle. She's in LA for half the summer with her dad. But I made her this set so she could have this in LA. So yeah, I wanted to do something a little different. I love so many of the Pride nail sets that I've seen other creators make, and they're so fun. But I thought, you know, I wanted to go outside of the box, and I had just gotten these adorable little charms, and also the beautiful cat eyes. So I wanted to incorporate all of that into it. This one I'm doing a black base, also MAKARTT, and I am gonna give doing ombre a shot. Miss Jo does her ombre side to side, and I like the way I see how that turns out. I mean, other than if you're doing like a sponge where you're getting that really airbrushed look, I just think it looks really clean the way she does it. And now she's been doing it for a long time and she's a professional. But I figure if I'm gonna start doing ombre, I'm just gonna jump in and do it this way, and eventually, you know, I'll get better at it and just not give myself a choice. So I decided to try the side to side. It's a lot slower because obviously this is sped up, but I did like the result. This was an easy ombre because of the colors were similar, and you know, all the sparkle, it kind of makes it blend easier. But I am going to keep practicing this technique and challenge myself with harder ombres using this technique. But yeah, funny enough, because you know, when you're on a roll with a set, you're on a roll. I picked the wrong color for the ombre. It does not match the other nail. Yeah, so it's fine. And I honestly did think about redoing it, but then I was like, you know what? I'm not going to, because it kind of still looks cool, even though it's not quite the right color. It works because I mean, all the colors are in the set, so I don't know. I kind of just, I'm a little bit ashamed that I didn't go back and fix it. But at that point, after like doing the thumb 3 times, I was like, it's fine. So, but at least I got the stripe going the right way. So, you know, small victories, and I'll take them. Yeah. Countdown to when I realize that that is the wrong color. So this nail, this is the index. I didn't really need to put this coat down, but I was using a hollow, like really fine glitter, and I wasn't sure like what kind of coverage it was going to give me. If it was going to somehow like poke through, or like if it was going to look like it was a blank on the side. There we are. There, I figure it out. Like, okay. Some lights it's very obvious, some it's not, but you know, it's fine. They're cousins. They're not even sisters. It's totally fine. Here I'm just using a base coat to apply the glitter. And this little teaspoon thing I picked up from a thrift store. Thought it was perfect for this kind of thing. Also, I have some thoughts about these little glitter catchers. They kind of make things worse. Everything ends up everywhere. I don't know if I'll be using it again. It was even worse the first time around on the other hand. But I don't love this whole thing. It's very messy, but that's okay. And nails by, I think her name's Kai. She does really beautiful press-on nail sets. She was using a roller for her glitter, and that is genius. So here I've got a top coat, but I put it on a palette because I don't want to infect my top coat with all the glitter particles. So I just put it over on a palette. I'm using a brush, and which worked out well because I kind of wanted to build it. So I almost like treated it a teensy bit like a builder gel, where you put down the slip layer and then kind of build it up a little bit, because I didn't want to completely file through it. But I did want to buff it so it's nice and smooth, and there's not like a ton of sharp glitter particles poking through. So, and then here I'm just giving it a buff, making sure that everything is nice and even. That's the one thing when you're using the glitter, it's like the sides get kind of rough, so you have to make sure that your sides are smooth again, so you're not scratching yourself or whoever you're making your set for. You just want that to be really smooth, and if you need to reshape at all, if anything kind of bubbled out because of the thickness of the glitter and all the layers you've added, there's your chance to reshape everything. And here I'm just wiping down with some alcohol, since I did buff, just to make sure there's no particles that are going to get stuck into the top coat, which is what I'm applying now. And I did make sure that I applied a pretty thick layer around those pieces, because I didn't want them to pop off, and I also didn't want them to feel too sharp, since they are sticking out, and they are sticking out away from like the sides of the nail a teensy bit, so I didn't want any sharp edges, but mainly to keep them nice and safe inside that layer of top coat. This is the GAOY top coat. It's not super thick. I do need like a thicker top coat to have, but I really do like this. I think it's not runny by any stretch, but it's definitely not on the thicker side. Like, I would have used it for that middle rainbow nail for sure, because it still allowed some of that texture of those lines to pop through. But it's not like super thick as far as like encapsulating. I love that glitter nail. It's amazing outside. Blinding, almost. Same thing here. I'm just making sure to get a really nice thick coat on those pieces. And that, my friends, is the completed set. And here you can kind of see when I put them together that no, those are not the same color, but that's okay. That's fine. Totally fine. What are you gonna do? There, I'm like pointing at it. So, I do like the ombre on the original better because there's more contrast of that red base. And then here I'm just putting together a little kit for my daughter to take to LA with her. And I really, I don't know what it is, but I enjoy watching people pack orders. And since I don't have orders because I don't sell my press-ons, I wanted to do it too. So I thought maybe if you enjoy it as much as I do, you would enjoy me packing this up. All in all, I'm very happy with the way this set turned out. I think it's really beautiful. I'm not sure if it translates well as Pride. And the colors really, in this kind of light, especially with the cat eyes, it doesn't really do it justice, but I do throw in a little footage of them outside so you can see in natural light how the sparkles go. There's something about seeing a completed set on a card, though, that is very satisfying. I put my own in a book, which is also satisfying, but there's something about this. And here we are in the sunshine. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoy, and have a fabulous day.